She murdered about 3,000 people, men, women, and children. This is Credonia Mwerinde, who was born in Uganda and turned belief into something deadly. Before she called herself a Reverend Sister, Credonia lived a completely different reality. She worked as a small shopkeeper brewing banana beer, and at one point she survived through sex work. Her life was unstable, moving from one situation to another. She was married multiple times, 6 according to reports. Her 6th husband later revealed something chilling, that Credonia valued money more than anything else. They ran a bar that did well for a while, until it collapsed after a suspected murder linked to her business. After that, her marriage fell apart and she walked away to start all over. This time, she turned into religion. She joined a religion. Within a short space of time, she started claiming something extraordinary happening to her. According to her, the Virgin Mary had appeared in her vision, and that vision will change everything. She took her story to a very wealthy and respected man who was religious, Joseph Kibwere. She convinced him that he had been chosen, that he was meant to help lead a divine mission. Together they formed what they called Movement of the Restoration of the 10 Commandments of God. But it quickly became something much more extreme. They began to preach about the end of the world. They began to tell their followers that the apocalypse was coming. Only those who followed them would be saved. The followers sold everything they owned: land, possessions, homes, cars. They prepared themselves for what they would believe to be the rapture. But 1992 came. No end, no salvation. When the followers began to question them, they pushed the date to 1995. Again, the world did not end. At this point, the followers were angry and some even demanded their money back. Credonia came with another message, claiming that the Virgin Mary had spoken. She promised them it would end that 1 December 2000. It somehow worked. Some followers moved to the compounds of the church to wait for the end. She created what they called the final celebration of the end. There was food, drinks, almost like a feast of salvation. Next day, she instructed thousands of women and children to enter in the building. She told them that it symbolized Noah's Ark, a place of safety where they would wait for the rapture. But what they didn't realize was the building was prepared for something else. Fuel had been spread across the space. The windows and doors were sealed, shut from the outside. Members were told to light matchsticks as a sign of faith. The building went up in flames. The fire was so intense that it burned all the bodies beyond recognition. It was hell on earth. And the most disturbing part, Credonia Mwerinde and Joseph Kibwere, they were not amongst the victims. They had disappeared, leaving behind one of the deadliest religion massacres in history, and lost thousands of lives in the name of faith.